Siyabingelela egameni lika Jesu. Sinomuzwa ukuthi asizovakasha futhi namhlanje. Sinomuzwa ukuthi asizovakasha namhlanje kulona leli phuzu lokuthi it is free. Salvation is free, but it will cost you to follow Christ. Paul uthi uvuma njengomlomo ukuthi uJesu uyinkosi, kholwa ngenhliziyo ukuthi uBaba uNkulunkulu wangivusa kwabafileyo kube ngokusindiswa. uJesu azothi ongithandayo ugcina imiyalo yami. Kwenye indawo athi akhulume esebenzisa imagery ye-construct ukuthi iqale mayezokwenza umsebenzi i-count ama-cost. He was speaking in reference to discipleship. You count the cost that you will have to pay in following Christ, because the following Christ is not, we are not following Christ just for the sake of following him. The goal is to be like him. So if we are to be like him, it will cost us the very same things it cost him. Sometimes leisure, sometimes consuming the content to consume it. Sometimes breaking away from relationships that will derail us. Sometimes denying good opportunities, some of which we were praying about. Sometimes, yes, causing a separation between us and our families if they interfere with our devotion to him. Sometimes forsaking even our own desires. Now, you can't, it is easy, not that you can't, it is not easy to marry what I've just said with the 21st century believer, because we are reading the Bible through the lenses of a democratic rule, not a kingdom rule. Siyasho njengomlomo ukuthi singabombuso kaNkulunkulu, but we have no idea how the system of God's theocracy operates, because it does not minister to our feelings, but it ministers to his will, using us as tools to fulfill the same. Umusindiswa ngesikhathi usawumkhedeni, you were living your own life influenced by the prince of the air of this world, right? Umusindiswa, you are being restored into alignment with the will that God initially had for you before you converted into the faith, before you were even born, before even the fall existed. So, awuyazi impilo ekumele uyiphile, even the desires that you think God must fulfill, if you are to come into alignment with God's will, uzothola ukuthi wonke urabish. Wonke ayimvucu, wonke awuvobe lama desires onawo emahle njalo, but uma sibheka ngokwemqulu kaNkulunkulu anawo ngempilo yakho, akhona eyodwa kuyicebo likaNkulunkulu kulezi zinto ozifisayo. Yabo? So uma kukhulunywa ngaleli verse uDavid athi zithokozise, I think I shared this before, zithokozise ngoJehova khona eyawufezekisa izifiso zakho. The precise interpretation of that verse, the more you delight yourself in the Lord, because ileyo part esiyishiya ngaphandle focus kule part le ethi he will fulfill our desires, the more you focus on delighting yourself in the Lord, is the more even the desires that God has for you will become yours. Then bese kubalula ukuthi mawuthandaza according to his will, kungabi khona nowodwa umthandazo ukhulekayo ungaphendulwa, because vele the more you desire, you delighted yourself in the Lord, you gave him room to sow in your hearts, in your thoughts, the desires that are in his will ngempilo yakho. So ungavumeli ke the hyper grace gang eshumayela ivangeli eli self-centered, eli self-seeking, which ministers to the flesh, which gives you countless opportunities to fall into sin because there is mercy. You are derailing yourself. You are derailing yourself. It cost to follow Christ. It cost to follow Christ. Angizukuhlala isikhathi eside. Ngiyavalelisa nje. Bengizodlulisa lo mlayezo ukuthi it cost to follow Christ. It will cost you your comfort zone. It will cost you your good night's sleep. It will cost you when you're introvert, it will force you to step out of your comfort zone. Likumise phambi kwabantu. When you're extrovert, lizokuforsa ukuthi go into the secret place. It will force you to move out of your comfort zone. Icebo likaNkulunkulu. Because you must die. Hayi ukuthi unciphe. You must die. Aphile yena, ephila kuwe. If you read chapters 11 and 12 of 2 Corinthians, the marks of a true apostle, the marks of a true believer. And I'm reading la incwadi engayisendelwa noma engayirecommendelwa umunye wabosisi aba enginabo la, evangelism as exiles. How people treat you if you feed yourself in God's word and you stay in the presence of God, in the place of prayer. How people receive you will not be the same as you retaliate, as you respond, as you react. No, you will not react or respond the same way that your critics treat you, your accusers treat you, those who betray you, those who insult you, those who abandon you, those who reject you. No. You will respond in love because you have been overwhelmed by the love of. It's not easy if you tap in and out of the presence of God. But if you stay in the presence of God, if you stay in his word, it is not ideal because the flesh would want to respond the way it feels. But in the kingdom, we don't minister to our feelings. We minister God's love. It costs to follow Christ.